What's happening, folks? Semi-original guy here, aka Mr. Cannon from Advanced Wars by Web. Hope you're all having a wonderful day today. I know my day is going pretty good myself. I am going to be bringing you some matches that I am playing currently in the Egg Cup tournament. Now, if you don't know what the Egg Cup tournament is, it is a open tournament hosted by the content creator Mangs on YouTube, who is also a player on Advanced Wars by Web, obviously. Right? And you know, you just go, you sign up, play your matches. There's very close right now to about 800 players registered in this tournament. So it is huge. Like, I would say at least, like, you know, a third of the community is playing. Alright, so we are playing on the map Caustic Finale, which is a mixed base, multi-fronted map. There's combat everywhere on this map. No two games are ever the same on this one. So it's a very exciting map. Not my strongest map. Not my strongest map by far. But it's a tournament. Don't have a choice. Just like the league, if you get paired up against somebody, you are going to play on the map that the site decides. And for this one, the content creator Mangs is the one that decided these maps. So, also, this tournament has a lot of heavy hitters in it. So, if you make it far enough, eventually, you're going to hit one of them. And if you make it far enough, maybe you'll play me. Who knows? We'll see. Either way, it's going to be exciting. So, we are going to let this one play out. Here we go. Yeah. It's Caustic Finale. Very interesting, very open map. Obviously, the first thing you want to do, open with your standard infantry builds. Get those bases as fast as you can. They are the most important part of this entire map. Gotta get them. 100%. Now, unit count is very, very important on this map as well. I mean, if you start to lose units, then you can't fight on all fronts. So this map usually has anywhere between 2 to maybe 4, sometimes even 5 different fronts that you have to fight on. You gotta fight over the corners, you have to fight over the center, you have to defend your HQ, you have to go for the comm towers. There's so much going on in this map. It is insane. Insane. Now, most of the time, players will just go down and capture the comm towers, and then they'll just leave an infantry on the comm towers. Nothing ever happens there. But sometimes, every once in a while, things happen down in that corner. You gotta watch out for it. You gotta be prepared. So if you want to be prepared down there, you know, you can either send a tank down there, you can maybe just send a couple extra infantry, maybe even a recon down there, you know. Anything helps. Anything helps. So I've decided to open up a tank in the south corner. So why the south corner? Because it is right directly by those two properties in the south corner. So I'm thinking, if I can get a tank down there really early, I can put pressure there, perhaps gain those two properties for myself. Now, by doing that, I'm not really intending on going for the north corner then. I'm going to cap my property right there, so you can see. And then that's pretty much as far as I'm going to be going. I'm not going to be pushing up there. I'm just going to be holding the bridge, and that's it. Now, you could go into that corner, but if you're already putting pressure on one corner, you might as well just focus on that corner, and that's it. If you can get one corner, your opponent gets another corner, at least you're even. Now, if you see an opportunity where you can strike and get the advantage, by all means, definitely do it. If not, play it safe. Playing it safe is good. That's what you gotta do sometimes. Alright, so my opponent, Lamulte, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He is, you know, capping lots of properties, although I did interrupt one of his caps there. And he built a tank by my HQ, which is, that's tough. That is a tough spot to build one. Why? Because it forces you to have to play in that area. So now he has decided that we are going to play right there. So by doing that, it means that this game has turned into an HQ fight. So we are going to be putting forces right by both of our HQs. And whoever wins that fight most likely is going to win the game. But Caustic Finale, multi-fronts, things can switch very, very quickly. Very quickly indeed. Well, so he builds a mech and he base skips here, which is not good to do. So if you're playing on Caustic Finale, especially in the early games, you need to get your unit count. You have to get units on the field. If you do not, then your opponent is just going to be able to shift his units wherever they need to go, which will leave you at a disadvantage, because he won't be able to defend all fronts at the same time. Now, I'm outnumbered in tanks in the north. He's got 3 tanks plus an injured one that I just attacked, and I only have 2 plus one that's injured. Well, one that's injured and another one. But I built a recon in the north. I'm going to send the recon over to the top left corner to hopefully assist with holding that area. So, let's see what else he does here. Alright, moves his tank forward just by 1 square, builds an artillery unit and another tank up by the HQ. So he's putting heavy pressure on that HQ, forcing me to do my builds up there. I did manage to flip one of his properties right there, which is good, because I'm a little bit behind in the capture game right now. But that's okay, because my bottom right corner there, as you can see, I'm doing pretty good there. I got 2 units down, got 1 of the properties captured, and I have a tank to reinforce. Now his tank did take a shot at my infantry, taking it down to 4 HP, which was unfortunate, obviously. But is it the end of the world? No, it's not. 100% not the end of the world. Now, one thing that actually did end up doing was it caused his tank to stay down in the south. So that tank is not helping up north. Now, if that tank actually did move up north, that would have been a much different scenario for me. Because then I would have had to contend with 1 more tank for sure, which is dangerous. So one of my tanks got taken down to 1 HP. So I'm going to take it back, park it on the HQ, get some healing on that, hopefully come back with a 3 HP tank, which is far more effective. Now, 3 HP tank, obviously you're not going to win any tank engagements. However, that can be used to either follow up another tank's hit, or it can be effective in lowering the HP of infantry that are around you, which is important. Infantry, vitally important unit. They're perfect for capturing, obviously, but they're also good for walls. Now, you build an infantry wall, you put your units behind it, they're protected, you can get the first strike a lot of the time. Now, my opponent, he's used his super co-power. Coal super co-power will give you +2 movement to all your units, plus your damage will increase when you're fighting on roads. Now, normally, you don't really want to take engagements on roads, right? Because they have no defense bonus. But for coal, he gets that extra attack bonus on roads, so it's viable for him. For anybody else, never suggest it, unless you have to. If you have to do it, you have to do it. That's just plain simple. Right? Okay, so take 3 engagements up in the north, which is not bad. Now he's got 2 mechs down there, but 3 mechs, right? So he's ended up building 4 mechs on this turn, which is not very good. Excuse me. So you could have actually built like an entire tank for the cost of those 3 mechs. Plus, could have just built infantry also. Infantry are a lot faster. Now, I think I understand what he's trying to do, right? With his additional movement, the mechs are a lot faster. They have forward movement, but it's not quite fast enough for this map, I don't think. Alright, so you can see over by the HQ, lots of my units have taken pretty heavy damage. I have a lot of injured units up there, and he's just come in with a medium tank. So that's very spooky right there. So I did manage to get 3 properties right there though, which puts me ahead in the funds. I'm now at 2,100 funds, 21,000 funds a day, which is very good. He's at 18. Now, what that can mean is I can pump out a medium tank every single day and 3 infantry or various other units, and he can only pump out 1 medium tank and 2 infantry, which leaves one of his base open. So at this point, I have a very good advantage. Even if I have a lot of injured units, they're playing a vital role. And the fact that I have more properties now is I can do plays like this, pumping out medium tanks and infantry. And I am ahead in the unit count right now too. I'm sitting at 26 units and he is sitting at 18. Even if a lot of my units are injured, they're still going to be effective. still going to be effective. You'll see. Alright, so bringing one of my tanks back once again to get some more healing. If you got nothing better to do with your units, you can send them back and get some healing for a turn, send them back into the front line. You don't want to keep them back for too long, obviously, because your opponent will just be able to rush in and you're going to be sapping your funds day in and day out. But get a quick heal, get back into combat. That is an effective strategy to do. So now, boom, second medium tank up in that area. Things are looking good. He's got 2 artillery though, which are going to be tough to play around. Now, he's pushing his units up very far. So this is definitely a mistake right here. Now, with the current state of the map, you don't want to push your units up that far, especially your medium tank. Now, if you actually hold the position by the mountain, up in the north by the bases, then it forced me to have to be able to attack 2 units just to be able to get at the rest of them. The way that he's got his units set up right now is not very good. But I can understand why he's doing that, because I have a huge infantry wall coming in from the south because I won the south. So now all those infantry are going to be pushing north to the HQ. And you can see, I managed to take out the medium tank with a dual attack from my medium tanks, and I got through his line, taking 2 shots at the artillery units, which are now both sitting at 7 HP. So, while they're still going to be able to do damage, they're going to be a lot less effective. And I continue putting pressure in the south. I am pushing up a lot of units, taking shots at infantry. And he did attempt to take the comm tower from me. But since I have the unit advantage right now, I was able to send a fairly large force over there. Alright, so we have a second trial of woe coming in. So we're going to see what can happen with the second one. So, big mech hit on me capturing the port. So the port is kind of slept on in these games, right? So obviously there's not really too much that you can do with the port because it's difficult to buy Navy units. The only Navy unit that is really effective on this map would be a battleship. But if you manage to capture your enemy's port, building a battleship from that area could cover one of the bases and the HQ. Really affect that push quite a bit. So if you haven't guessed, alright, so once again, I'm trying to keep my units alive, even if they're at 1 HP. I'm bringing them back, getting some healing, hopefully going back in. This is also why sometimes you don't really want to join your units too often, because your units can be used as effective blockers, even if they're injured. 1 HP, you still have to attack it to get it out of the way. So, very good. Very good. Now, in the south there, I am trying to capture the comm tower, obviously, but it's 4 HP infantry, so it's going to take about 5 days to actually capture that property. And he's got a tank down there, so it's not going to happen. But I built a mech of my own, right? And I'm sending the mech in down south. Now, I'm sitting on the mountain, I'm going to be sitting on the road, or the city, plopping over to the comm tower, getting up on the mountain, and getting in position to attack. It's going to take several days to do that. But I don't have any other choice, right? Because he's building more medium tanks up in the north, and I want to keep heavy pressure up there. I don't want to let up, because if you let up now, he could eventually regain his footing. So for maps like this, you really want to keep your momentum. Now, I did see this opening right here where I was able to park 2 tanks in front of his medium tank, forcing it not to be able to move, which is a good play, in my opinion. Now, what that does is it forces the medium tank to stay on the base and force an attack on one of my units. So even if I lose a tank, this medium tank is stationary, it cannot help anywhere else, which will leave it so that my units will be able to slowly capture that port, capture his properties, and force him to build more units out of the other base. Now, he did build a rocket, and rockets are great, but for this situation, rocket is not very good. He's just going to have to move it in order to actually fire, otherwise he's sacrificing another base build, which is not ideal in this situation, obviously. So I joined Cap on the comm tower. I'm not actually expecting to get the comm tower, but I need to keep up the pressure everywhere that I can. Right? So, the medium tank actually took a shot at my little tank and is now being blocked by 2 1 HP units. Right? So, once again, that is the power of weakened units. They can be effective blockers. So now that medium tank is locked in place once again. And I built an artillery unit, which is now in position to fire on the medium tank on the city, with a second medium tank in position to take the follow-up attack, hopefully taking it out. And even if it doesn't take it out, I believe that the mech I built and placed into position would be able to finish it off in the event of. So, day 18, we have another trial of woe. Things are not looking very good for him, although he did manage to stop the cap on the HQ. So, good play there. However, with the state of the map, him being behind by this number of units, there's pretty much no chance of coming back. So, I activate a beatdown power, which is Jake's normal co-power, which gives him a small firepower bonus on planes, but it also increases the range of his land direct units by 1. So, artillery and rockets get an extra movement, so it's pretty good. So, I take my weakened medium tank, join it with the other medium tank, which is okay because I'm so ahead on the unit count now that it's not too bad. But it does also leave me with 2 fresh medium tanks there, and the mech is now capturing the base, which is very good. Very good. Alright, so not really too much else is going on in this one. The medium tank is taking a shot, stopping a cap. But that's pretty much about it. That's all that he can really do on that turn. So there's not much going on. And I built that battleship, folks. Battleship in the front lines by the HQ. Let's go. That is the ideal position for that battleship. It is going to be causing so much havoc. Obviously, the game is pretty much over, but the damage is done. It's there. Powerful. Powerful unit. Alright, so just moving the rest of my units in. Not really too much else going on this turn. I did manage to take a strike at his tank down in the south, which was pretty good. And I am just cleaning up units before I capture the HQ. Going for that S rank. Nah, I'm just kidding. So, that's how round 1 went. Not too bad for me. But I am very, very excited to continue playing in this tournament. The fact that there are so many people playing is unreal. It is amazing. The Advanced Wars community, it's such a good community. So many people, all with the exact same passion, which is Advanced Wars. You just couldn't ask for anything more, especially if you're a huge fan of Advanced Wars like I am. So, thank you very much, everybody, for watching. This has been Semi-Original Guy, aka Mr. Cannon, from Advanced Wars by Web. Link in the description below where you can join Advanced Wars today. Join, sign up, play the Global League, play casual, it doesn't matter, just play. You're gonna have a good time. Alright, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye for now.